Hello everyone, welcome back to IGT, that is Introduction to Graph Theory. This is lecture number 39 and this section contains 7.2 and Hamiltonian cycles. Okay, so and this section is the last section. Okay, so here come to Hamiltonian graph we will be studying and Hamiltonian cycle. Okay, so why this name is Hamiltonian? This is for the you can just say there was a mathematician who gave this name, that is who described a game on graph of dodecahedron in which one player specifies a 5 vertex path and the other must extend it to a spanning cycle. Okay, and this game was marketed as Traveler's Dodecahedron. Dodecahedron is a graph with 20 vertices, and number of edges are 30 and number of faces are 12. Okay, this is a planar graph. Correct, you can verify it. So this is a graph with n 20, number of edges, or you can just say size 30, and here face is 12. Okay, so on the basis of this one he described a game in which a player is specifying 5 vertex path, or you can just say p5, and other player one player is specifying a p5 and other player must extend it. Okay, so suppose here to here it is ending and another player should extend it to some spanning cycle. Okay, and here it will be containing all the 20 vertices. Correct, so here this one, then some other player, then it will be like this and like this. Okay, that's why this is Hamiltonian. Okay, so now come to the topic. What do you understand by Hamiltonian cycle? Just now I described as spanning cycle. So spanning cycle is known as Hamiltonian cycle. Spanning cycle is what? A cycle which contains all the vertices of the graph. So a cycle in the graph G which contains all the vertices of the graph G, that is known as Hamiltonian cycle. Okay. Okay. So for example, you can just say we have, this is a graph. In this one, Hamiltonian cycle is this one. Okay, C4 is the Hamiltonian cycle, and the graph is C4 with one edge, or you can just say one diagonal. Okay. Now come to Hamiltonian graph, and a graph which contains this Hamiltonian cycle is known as Hamiltonian graph. Suppose we are just considering this graph, and here we have this as C4 as the Hamiltonian cycle. So there is a cycle which widgets all the vertices. Correct. So this means this graph contains a Hamiltonian cycle. Correct. C4. That means this main graph becomes a Hamiltonian graph. Okay. So a graph which contains Hamiltonian cycle, it is known as Hamiltonian graph. Okay, this is kind of Eulerian graph we have discussed. In Eulerian graph there was a circuit which contains all the edges of the graph, and here we have a cycle which contains all the vertices of the graph. Okay, so there it was corresponding to edges, and here it is corresponding to vertices. Okay, and all the cycles are Hamiltonian cycle, and so itself so is the graph. Okay, because suppose C3 is Hamiltonian cycle, so it is also Hamiltonian graph, and C4 also Hamiltonian graph, it contains C4, C5 it contains C5, and so on. Cn it contains Cn as the Hamiltonian cycle. Correct. So Cn is Hamiltonian graph, and also Kn is Hamiltonian graph because we want to widget all the vertices. Correct. So we have in Kn, or you can just say K5 if you want to consider, then you have 5 vertices and all the vertices are adjacent. So here you can easily find a C5 in this one. Correct, that widgets all the vertices. So this is the subgraph of this one, as Cn is the subgraph of this one, and that is the spanning cycle, and this spanning cycle becomes the Hamiltonian cycle in this graph, correct? So this K5 is the Hamiltonian graph. Likewise, Kn is the Hamiltonian graph because Cn is the subgraph which is containing all the vertices, okay, of Kn. That is, Cn is there which visits all the vertices of Kn. And obviously whenever the order of graph is n and there exists n spanning cycle, or you can just say Cn exists in that graph, that will become the Hamiltonian graph, okay. So a cycle which contains all the vertices, that's it, correct. That becomes the Hamiltonian cycle, and a graph that containing that cycle, Hamiltonian cycle, becomes the Hamiltonian graph, okay. Some known example you can have, suppose we have this one, this graph, this one. So is it Hamiltonian or not? Does there exist any cycle? Yes, there exists a cycle, this one, or you can just say this one, but is it spanning? No, it's not spanning. So this is not a Hamiltonian cycle. So this graph does not contain any cycle which is Hamiltonian cycle, correct. So this graph is not Hamiltonian. Or you can just say this graph contains 5 vertices. So if C5 exists in this graph, then this becomes Hamiltonian graph, okay. But this is not true in this case, that's why this is not Hamiltonian graph. Likewise, you can have any tree because whenever no cycle is there, obviously that graph is not Hamiltonian, okay. Any path, any tree, open path I am just talking about. So any Pn type, okay. So here it is not Hamiltonian because there is no point of existing any cycle, correct. Yeah, some more examples. You can have a complete bipartite graph. In case of complete bipartite graph, K22 or K11 first. K11 is not Hamiltonian, and this what I was talking about Kn is the Hamiltonian if and only if n is bigger than equal to 3, because K2 is not Hamiltonian. If you are considering 2 vertices, then there is no cycle exists. Whenever no spanning cycle exists, then it is not Hamiltonian, okay. Here you can consider K11 again K2, so this is not Hamiltonian, okay. Now K12, obviously there is no cycle present, so no point of Hamiltonian cycle is there, so this is not Hamiltonian. What about K22? K22 becomes like this, correct, or I should draw like this. Yeah, K22, here is the first partite set containing 2 vertices, and here is the second partite set containing the other 2 vertices. So this is the K22. So is it Hamiltonian? Yes, it is Hamiltonian. How? So you have C4 present in this one, correct. So C4 is the part of this Hamiltonian graph. So that's why this K22 is the complete bipartite graph with M and N is 2. This is Hamiltonian, okay. This is the C4 is the spanning cycle here. So here I have discussed, correct. Now you can consider K23, this one. K23 is not Hamiltonian graph. Why? You cannot find any cycle which contains all the vertices, okay. So can you find? So just check it. So if you are starting with this vertex, you can go to this one, you can go to this one, go to this one, go to this one, then this is not a cycle, correct. And if you are going like this, then this cycle present, but this is not the spanning. So like this, it is not containing any spanning cycle, or you can just say any Hamiltonian cycle is not present in this graph. So that's why K23 is not Hamiltonian, okay. Now come to K33, and obviously K1n is not Hamiltonian because there is no cycle. K2n, K2n, K24 you can consider first, then I will be coming with K23. K23 is done, K22 done, K24. So here we can consider K24. So here each vertex in one partite set is adjacent with all the vertices of other partial set and vice versa. So this is K24. Can you find any C8 here? So any C8, you can start with this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, then no. And if you are starting with this one, then no. Okay, so maximum cycle is C4 present here. So that's why this is not Hamiltonian. Okay, this would be C6. Can you find any C6? Not C8. I thought this is K44. So C6 is not present, not the part of this one. That's why this is not Hamiltonian. So this graph was Eulerian, correct? Because of all the even vertices. Okay, but not Hamiltonian. Okay. Now come to K33. So only K22 is Hamiltonian for M and N are 2. Whenever partial set have cardinality 2. What about K33? Come to this graph. K33 is having 3 vertices in each partial set, and we have every vertex is adjacent to all the vertices of other partial sets. Can you find C6 here? Because the order is 6, order of this graph. This is K33, correct? Can you find C6 here? Yes, we can. So let's try this one, this one, this one, then this one, correct? And if you notice, this cycle visits starts from one vertex in one partial set and visits the other vertex in another partial set, and then it is alternatively visits the partial set. In last, it is going back to this, and in last it will be coming back to the partial set where it started. Okay, coming back to the vertex, so that it becomes a cycle, correct? So C6 present here, that's why it is Hamiltonian graph. Okay, so K33 is also Hamiltonian graph, correct? K22 was Hamiltonian graph, K33 is Hamiltonian graph. You may have some different C6 present in this one. So like I have drawn in here I have drawn, okay, here. So here what I did, you can start from one vertex, go to this one, then it can be like this and this one, correct? So this is also C6. The aim should be to find C6 whenever 6 vertices are there in graph. Okay, so K33 is Hamiltonian, K22 is Hamiltonian, K22 was Eulerian also, and K33 was not Eulerian. Okay, and K24 is not Hamiltonian but Eulerian. Okay, so you can say K22 Hamiltonian as well as Eulerian graph, K23 nothing, K23 not Hamiltonian, not Eulerian. Okay, not Hamiltonian, not Eulerian. What about K33? K33 is Hamiltonian but not Eulerian. Okay, any graph which is Eulerian but not Hamiltonian? K24, correct? Whenever we have even degree, that is Eulerian. So this is not Hamiltonian but Eulerian. Okay, so here you have some examples for all conditions. So both here, this satisfy both Hamiltonian as well as Eulerian, and this is not satisfying any of these, and this is satisfying Hamiltonian but not Eulerian. This is satisfying Eulerian but not Hamiltonian. Okay, so here you can just have any. In case of Eulerian, we want even degree. So whenever you are having even, and also both even M and N, or you can just say R and S, both partial set have even number of vertices, then it will be Eulerian but not Hamiltonian, in except whenever you are having K22, that is whenever it is not equal. Okay, so K44 is Eulerian and as well as Hamiltonian. Okay, so for example, you can just say K 2K, correct? You can just say K2M type, 2M type. Okay, so whenever these are even, or so you can just say KMN, where M and N both even, Okay, m you can just say, then it is both even, then it is Hamiltonian as well as Eulerian. And whenever m and n are not equal, k m and n are not equal, both are even, then it is Eulerian but not Hamiltonian. Okay, and so on. Okay, so here what we discussed, k22 is Hamiltonian, k33 is Hamiltonian. Likewise you will find k44 is Hamiltonian, c8 is there, and k66 is Hamiltonian, and so on. Okay, k55 is also Hamiltonian. Okay, so kmn is Hamiltonian. We can just derive this result if and only if m is equal to n. Okay, so kmm. Okay, so this is Hamiltonian if and only if both peptide sets have the same cardinality or same number of vertices. And when it is for all n, no, it is not for all m should not be equal to 1. Okay, so m should be greater than or equal to 1. Correct? So that is greater than 1, or you can just say at least it should be 2, because in case of 1 we are just getting k2, that is not Hamiltonian. Correct? So here I have just discussed, and why this is happening. So that's also I have discussed that every spanning cycle, whatever spanning cycle will be there, C2n, correct? C2n will be existing whenever m is equal to n. So every spanning cycle, and in case of you can just say C m plus n, because order is m plus n for k mn. Correct? So every spanning cycle, this one visits if the two peptide set alternatively. Whenever first it is visiting one peptide set, another it is going to next it is going to another, and then the first one, then second, then first one, in last it will be coming back to the same peptide set, you can just say, or same vertex. So there cannot be such cycle unless peptides have the same cardinality. Okay, peptide sets should be with the same size, same cardinality, same number of vertices should be present. Otherwise it is either it is not coming back to this one, or it is not spanning cycle. Okay, if they are not equal. So k mn one is Hamiltonian if and only if m is equal to n. Okay, so this is done. Now come to proposition number 7.2.3. This is just characterization of Hamiltonian graph. If some graph is Hamiltonian, then you can say about the number of component of G minus some set of vertices. Okay, so if G is Hamiltonian, G is given as Hamiltonian cycle, or you can just say G is given as Hamiltonian graph. So G is given as Hamiltonian cycle. Then C of G minus S, and what is the C represents? C represents number of component in G minus S. Okay, for example, you can just have some H graph. So here H graph consists of C3 union with K2. So how many components are there in H graph? So here 2. So we write C of H is 2. So that is the number of component of H. Or you can just say also you can represent by K of H, because in some books you will find this notation, or here in this Douglas book it is given as C of H. So any notation you can use, it doesn't matter which notation, but it should be the number of component. Okay, so if G has a Hamiltonian cycle, G contains a Hamiltonian cycle, or you can just say G is a Hamiltonian graph, then components of G minus S less than equal to cardinality of S for all non-empty vertex set S, that is the subset of vertex set of G. Okay, where CH denotes the number of components of H. Okay, so this I explained here already. Correct? Now G is given as Hamiltonian cycle, that is Hamiltonian graph. G has a Hamiltonian cycle. Correct? So G contains a Hamiltonian cycle. Suppose C dash is present, and why I am just taking C dash, that is so that it doesn't look like this number of component. Okay, that's why I am just using. There is nothing much more reasoning for this one. Okay, so this is just a notation. So contains some cycle C dash. let G contain some Hamiltonian cycle, spanning cycle C dash, and then we will be considering S be any set which is non-empty, and this is the set of vertices. Okay, so here I have just taken C dash, and here I have just taken S. Now here some G were there, and after removing S, all the vertices of S, what you got? Some components you got. So here I just discussed. So here after removing S, you are getting these components. Okay, because this S we have removed. So these three components we got, suppose, or you can just say K components we can get. So here if C dash is the spanning cycle, then it will be visiting all the vertices in G. Okay, so in G it will be S is also included. So in G, what is happening? This C dash cycle visits all the vertices, whether it is component of G minus S or not, or S to all the vertices of G minus S, or you can just say all the vertices of all the component of G minus S and S. Obviously it is this G minus S union with S, or you can just say if you add all the vertices of this one and some edges which were being removed, so that then it will be isomorphic to G. Okay, so C dash visits all the vertices of G minus S and S. Okay, this set, and one cycle I have just shown here. Now while leaving a component, for example it is it is leaving this component, it is coming back to this one, and it is leaving this component. Okay, then C dash can go only to the vertices of S. Otherwise, if it is leaving to this component, it is going back to going to some another component of G minus S, then means to say this total is a component of G. These are not disconnected. Then these two components will not be there. There is one component. Okay, consist of these two parts. Okay, that means these two parts are connected, will be no more disconnected. That's why C dash can only go to the vertices of S. Correct. So here C dash can go to the vertices of S only, because it is leaving from here. Correct, and here also it is leaving from here, here also it is leaving from here and going back to S, and it can also visit some more vertices in S, that is S can contain more vertices. Correct, and also if this is a cycle, so this does not, no vertices should be repeating except first and end vertex. Correct, starting and ending point, except that no vertex in between will be repeating. Correct, so this is the cycle. Correct, so it will be using the different vertices of S every time. Okay, so when leaving a component of G minus S, C dash can only go to vertices of S, and each time it uses the different vertices of S, being a cycle. Okay, that's why the number of component will be less than equal to cardinality of S. Correct, so or you can just say it will be at most equal to the number of vertices in S. Correct, so here you can just see, here number of components are 3, and here more than 3 vertices may be there. Okay, or exactly 3 vertices may be there. Okay, so here we are having number of component of G minus S should be less than equal to cardinality of S, that is the number of vertices we have removed from G. Correct, and this all is happening in G. Okay, yeah, now it was any arbitrary set, so this is true for every set that is non-empty. Correct, so that's done. So if G is a Hamiltonian cycle, then you can use number of component of G minus S will be less than equal to cardinality of S, that is the number of vertices present in S for any non-empty set of vertices. Okay, so this is you can just say necessary condition only, that is even if this is being satisfied, then you cannot say G is Hamiltonian. Okay, and if G is Hamiltonian, then this will always be satisfying. Okay, so we can have some example based on this one. You have to determine whether this graph is Hamiltonian or not, and actually this is not. this graph is not Hamiltonian. Suppose this is Hamiltonian, then it will be showing this property. For a Hamiltonian graph, you have number of component of G minus S is less than equal to, or you can just say it can be at most cardinality of S, correct? So here you need to consider some set S, and then you need to count the number of component of C minus S. So if we have just we want to show this graph is not Hamiltonian, so we have just assumed that G contains spanning cycle, that is, suppose G is Hamiltonian, then it will be containing some Hamiltonian cycle, or you can just say it will be containing some spanning cycle. So by the last proposition we have this result, that is number of component of G minus S will be at most cardinality of S, and this will be happening for all non-empty set of vertices, correct? And then we can consider as this is happening for all non-empty sets, so we can consider these two as S contains these two sets, so A comma B. Okay, so if you remove this one, how many components you are getting? So number of component is, you will be getting this one and this one. 3 components you are getting, correct? So here this one and this one. So 3 components we got. So number of components we got this one, and here it will be, and cardinality of S is just 2. So and if G is Hamiltonian, then it should satisfy the component of G minus S will be at most cardinality of S. But here it is showing if this is satisfying this one, that is 3 is less than equal to 2, which is not possible at all, correct? So here which is not possible at all, because this is greater than this one, and but here we have this one, correct? Because this is Hamiltonian we have supposed, so we got a contradiction. So why with this contradiction? We have assumed something wrong, and that something wrong is G is Hamiltonian we have assumed. So G is not Hamiltonian. So this graph is not Hamiltonian. You can just try to find out some spanning cycle. You will never find out. You will never able to find that spanning cycle. Okay, any spanning cycle is not exist. Okay, that's why this is not Hamiltonian. Now this graph is not Hamiltonian because here for all the vertices this is not satisfying, okay, correct? And here if this is satisfying this one, then we can't say that this graph is Hamiltonian or not, okay? If Hamiltonian, then we can say this will be satisfying, okay? And if this does not satisfy, then we can say this is not Hamiltonian. That is same as this. This is, suppose you can just say G is a Hamiltonian cycle, or G is a Hamiltonian graph is P statement, and this condition, that is number of component is less than number of component of G minus S is less than equal to cardinality of S. This will be Q. So this is same as in discrete mathematics we have done in our class, that is negation of Q implies this is equivalent to negation of P, correct? So every conditional statement is equivalent to its contraposition, correct? So this was the contraposition of this one. So here negation of this one, that is if you are able to show that this condition does not satisfy, then you are able to show that this is not a Hamiltonian cycle, correct? So here we have done the same, okay? And for even for a one vertex, for a one vertex, or you can just say one set, you are not satisfying this one, that is this condition is not satisfied, that's why then it will not become the Hamiltonian graph, okay? And here if now this condition is satisfying, some graphs satisfy this condition for all the graphs, then you can't say this is Hamiltonian. For example, you can have this graph, that's why this is one weak condition, okay? Proposition was if Hamiltonian, then this satisfy, okay? And if this is satisfying this condition, then we can't say the graph is Hamiltonian. If not satisfying, we can say the G is not Hamiltonian, okay? So that's all result we are using here. So this graph satisfy the condition for all set. You have this one, that is component of G minus S is less than equal to cardinality of S. You can take any set, you will be getting this condition, okay? But it that does not exist any spanning cycle. If spanning cycle existing, then how many vertices will be there? C7, correct? C7 will be existing. So 3 vertices here and 4 vertices here. So does there exist any C7? So we can try to find. So here, then we can go to this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Now this is C6, and if we are coming back to this one, then we can come back to this one, then it is no more a cycle. Okay, and if we are going to this one, then it is C5. So C7 does not exist here, so it does not containing any spanning cycle. That's why this graph is not Hamiltonian. Okay, that's why I just mentioned that this is one way condition only, not both way. Okay, I hope this is clear. One more definition is that Hamiltonian cycle is spanning cycle, correct, of G, and Hamiltonian path, if there exists a kind of open path, then it will be Hamiltonian path. Okay, which is not a path, which is not cycle, still it contains all the vertices of the graph. That will be the spanning path, and spanning path, such path is known as Hamiltonian path. Okay, for example Pn, or you can just say in this graph, does there exist any Hamiltonian cycle? Spanning cycle does not exist. There does not exist any spanning cycle, but Hamiltonian path exists, correct? So a path which contains all the vertices. So this P4 exists here. Okay, so Hamiltonian path exists, but not Hamiltonian cycle. Okay, path is there, not Hamiltonian cycle. Okay, so this graph is not Hamiltonian, but containing some path which contains all the vertices of G. Okay. When it will be, now every cycle, whenever G is Hamiltonian, then it contains path as well. You can have this one here. This is Hamiltonian graph, and Hamiltonian cycle is C4 is there, correct? And this C4 is there, so you can just take from here to here. You can have Hamiltonian path P4. So obviously every C4 contains Pn, every Cn contains Pn, or every C4 contains P4. So that's why that becomes the Hamiltonian path. And what about the reverse condition? Every Hamiltonian path may not be a cycle, correct? So it will be a cycle if and only if we are able to just join the first and last vertex, or we are able to for example, G is here, we have Pn, or Hamiltonian path is there, a path which is Hamiltonian path. This is not the cycle, means to say there are some adjacent, non-adjacent vertices, that is first and last. So then we will be taking trivial graph and we will be making this as join of this one. So G join K1. So this will be forming a Hamiltonian cycle, but its order cycle will be having order 1 greater than path. Okay, if P4 is there, then cycle will be of order P5, because one vertex being added. Okay, so this is the if and only if case. A graph has Hamiltonian path if and only if G join K1. A graph G is having Hamiltonian path if and only if G join K1 has Hamiltonian cycle. So there exists Hamiltonian cycle, and obviously if Pn is the Hamiltonian path, then Cn plus 1 will be presenting here. Okay, so will lie Hamiltonian as a Hamiltonian cycle, or you can just say will be working as a spanning cycle. I hope this is clear now. Now we can have some sufficient condition, or you can just say for Hamiltonian, for a graph to be Hamiltonian, some necessary condition. Okay. Or you can just say this is sufficient, na? Necessary already done, correct? So this was the necessary condition, correct? So for Hamiltonian graph it is necessary, and here it is sufficient. So any condition which is sufficient, so that the graph becomes the Hamiltonian. Okay, so here if G is a simple graph, here we are just talking about all the simple graphs. Obviously you can have some multigraph. So anyway you have here C4 exists, in multigraph also C4 exists, so there is no point of making more as is. That's why Hamiltonian cycle, which is just vertices, every vertices. Okay, It may not contain all the edges, correct? So that's why we restricted our attention to the simple graphs. Okay, so if G is a simple graph with at least 3 vertices, then minimum degree of G, and this is given as simple graph with order at least 3 and with one more condition, that is minimum degree. Minimum degree is the minimum degree among all the vertices. This is at least n by 2, okay, order by 2. If this is the condition, then G is Hamiltonian. So this is the sufficient condition for a graph G to be Hamiltonian. Okay. Now you can have this we will be proving by using contradiction and extremity condition. That is contradiction. Contradiction is, suppose G is not Hamiltonian. So suppose G is a non-Hamiltonian graph. Non-Hamiltonian means not a Hamiltonian graph, and with these condition. Okay, so with G order of G is at least 3 and minimum degree is at least n by 2. Okay, it is non-Hamiltonian means to say there does not exist any Hamiltonian cycle, correct? And there does not exist any Hamiltonian cycle means to say G is not a complete graph, obviously, because complete graph is Hamiltonian, correct? So there exists some non-adjacent vertices. Okay, in a non-complete graph we have there exists some non-adjacent vertices, that is there is no edge between these two. So at least 2 non-adjacent vertices will be present in G, correct? So here, yeah, we can form, or you can just say we can consider this G by adding some more edges, such that this become non-complete graph, or you can just say this become non-Hamiltonian graph. Okay, for example, if you are having this one non-Hamiltonian, so you can add one more edge, or add as many edges such that it remains non-Hamiltonian. Okay, if you are adding this one, then it's okay. If you are adding this one, then it becomes Hamiltonian. So we will not add many more edges. So in case of P4, we are just considering G as this graph, or you can just say H is this graph. Okay, by adding any edges, minimum degree does not change, correct? So it will not reduce. It might change, but it will not reduce. So minimum degree it will be satisfying. So we are considering a maximal non-Hamiltonian graph with the same set of vertices by adding some edges if required, such that it is remaining non-Hamiltonian. Maximal non-Hamiltonian means even if we are just adding one edge, it becomes the Hamiltonian. Okay, so even if we are adding one edge, it will become the Hamiltonian graph. Okay, so that will be known as maximal Hamiltonian. So obviously some edge is not there, so there is U and V vertices are non-adjacent in H. Okay, so here obviously minimum degree does not reduce by adding some edge, so this is minimum degree of H is also n by 2, greater than equal to n by 2, and its degree will be also at least 3. So we can just consider here only G as this graph. Okay, so doesn't matter, you can just consider this extremity condition, that is maximal non-Hamiltonian graph, and then you can proceed this for further proof. Okay, here H contains non-adjacent vertices U and V, otherwise it will be isomorphic to Kn, or it will be Kn itself, then it will become Hamiltonian, but we have considered this is non-Hamiltonian, correct? Now H is maximal non-Hamiltonian. Obviously maximal means to say if we add even a single S, H contains 2 non-adjacent vertices, and if we are just adding even a single S to this S, then it becomes Hamiltonian graph. Okay, so this is Hamiltonian graph. Okay, so and all the cycles, Hamiltonian cycle in H plus UV will contain the H UV, otherwise those cycle will be present in H itself, correct? So every cycle in this H plus UV will be containing UV edge. Okay, otherwise that cycle will be present in H, and H will become the Hamiltonian. So that we have not considered. We have considered H as non-Hamiltonian. So this is being clear now, I think. So up to this we have considered all the extremality conditions. We have contained H is a maximal Hamiltonian with U and V and with the given conditions. Okay, these are non-adjacent U and V vertices, and every other may be adjacent, may not be adjacent, we don't care. Okay, so H contains, if H plus UV is Hamiltonian graph, then every cycle contains U to V as there. So here you don't have any Hamiltonian cycle in H, so you have some path U to V, correct? U to V path will be there, because in H U and V are not adjacent, and if you remove one S from the cycle, then that is UV edge you are just removing from H plus UV, and means to say from that cycle you have removed UV edge. That's why this edge becomes Hamiltonian path. So H contains a Hamiltonian path. This H contains Hamiltonian path, correct? So this H is containing Hamiltonian path. So here I have just discussed. Okay, so which Hamiltonian path? So UV Hamiltonian path. Okay, because UV are not adjacent, and in H plus UV there is Hamiltonian cycle. So by removing just UV H from there, we are getting this path. So consider that Hamiltonian path in H part, we have considered this U to V Hamiltonian path in H. So whenever here this is Hamiltonian path, means there are n vertices, correct? So V1, V2, this is a path Pn, you can just say V3 and so on up to Vn. Here we have just considered U to V. Okay, that is V1 and Vn. Okay, so U as V1 and V as Vn, and the vertices, the rest vertices in between this one. Okay, so now you are just having this path. You can consider this one. Now whenever U is adjacent, and this is happening in H. Okay, so this all everything is happening in H. So whenever U is adjacent to Vi plus 1, any vertex, you can just say, then Vn is not adjacent with the last vertex, or you can just say with the neighboring vertex, and just one vertex from this one. Okay, so again I am just explaining, whenever U is adjacent to some vertex, the vertex last to this one, or you can just say the predecessor of this Vi plus 1, that is Vi, is not adjacent to Vn. Okay, so here we got this, correct? So this is done. And likewise you can have up to you can consider all the vertices, and this is happening with all the vertices V1, V2 and so on up to Vn minus 1 and Vn, because this is not adjacent with Vn, so it is happening up to Vn minus 1. Whenever it is adjacent with adjacent to V2, it is not adjacent with V1, and it is adjacent with V3, V1 adjacent, then it is not adjacent with V2. V is not adjacent with V2, and if it is adjacent with V4, V1, it is not adjacent with V3. Okay, so this case is not there. And why this case is not there? Because if this is happening, then we can find some Hamiltonian cycle by using these. Okay, if this would be adjacent, whenever this is adjacent with Vi plus 1 and Vi is adjacent with Vn, then you can form a Hamiltonian cycle. How? You can start with U vertex, you can go to Vi plus 1, go to Vi plus 2 and so on up to V. Then you can come back to V to Vi, that is V to V via V to VIH. Okay, then you can go back to Vi minus 1, Vi minus 2 and so on V3, V to V1, correct? Or you can just say U. So you are again I am just considering here. So this cycle you can have. Okay, so this will contain all the n vertices, and this will become a Hamiltonian cycle. So which is not possible in H, because this was the not Hamiltonian graph. Okay, that's why whenever this is adjacent with any vertex, this is not adjacent with the predecessor of that. Okay, That means the degree of V is strongly affected by degree of U, and degree of any vertex can be at most n minus 1, and whenever it is adjacent, it is adjacent to some vertex, it is not adjacent to the vertex predecessor to that, correct. So here we will be having this degree of V is affected by U, and how it is affected, degree of V can be at most n minus 1 minus, because this is affecting this degree of U, okay. From here you are getting degree of V plus degree of V at most n minus 2, correct. So here I have just discussed. Now we got this equation, and this is given as minimum degree of H is at least n by 2. So degree of V and degree of U will be also greater than equal to n by 2. So degree of V plus degree of U will be greater than equal to n by 2 plus n by 2, correct. So this will be giving you n by 2 plus n by 2, that is n. So this is n degree of U plus degree of V, and this is from equation 1 you have the upper bound of this one n minus 1. So you got a quantity that is degree of U plus degree of V, this is greater than equal to n, and here degree of U plus degree of V, correct. So degree of U plus degree of V, and this is less than equal to n minus 1, which is not possible because nothing can be greater than equal to n and less than equal to n minus 1. So which is not at all possible. That's why which is not true. This is a contradiction. So whatever we have assumed is wrong. So we have assumed that as this G is Hamiltonian, we have considered this one. So H is non-Hamiltonian path. We have considered this one. So we have again we can consider any G with this H. So that's why this G becomes Hamiltonian, because this is wrong. Whenever we are considering this one, we are getting this thing, correct. So I hope this is clear. You can just remember this result, okay. So I hope this lecture number 29 is clear, and I'll be back very soon with lecture number 40. Till then, bye bye, take care.